Welcome to IC Tarot. This is a July reading for Taurus. Please bear in mind that it's general, so it's not going to resonate with everyone. However, I can tell you straight away that it really should resonate with those of you who have some kind of a deadline in July. The three cards on top represent the energies you step into the July with. So we start with the Queen of Swords reversed, the World card reversed, and we have the Knight of Wands reversed. So this is your energy, probably at the moment, because we are still not in July. You are working really hard towards the deadline, but everything seems to be quite chaotic. Your energy is scattered all over the place, and it is causing you to maybe snap at people, or maybe you are so busy and even like in your head you've got like 1,000 thoughts in a minute that you can't really focus on what people are saying to you. So maybe someone has got a better idea than you do, but you even refuse to listen to them because you are so focused. This deadline seems to be a very, very important one for you. So it may relate to anything in your life, any area of your life, as long as you've got, because I can strongly feel that you've got a certain date set in July, that everything has to be done by that date. So it might be work related, it might be family related. For example, my mom is a Taurus and my sister is getting married in July, so they have to get everything ready by the day of the wedding. So this is just an example, but it really can apply to anything. So just use your intuition. You know what's happening in your life at the moment, but at the moment it looks like you step into July with quite nervous. You are feeling quite nervous because you are worried that you will not manage to do stuff on time, that not everything's going to work out the way you wanted to. So you are really nervous, and it might actually it might affect people around you. So you might be maybe even sometimes rude to them because you don't have patience now, because you've got so many things to do. Maybe even you're doing everything at the same time, and people around you might be suffering because of that, but that's not really your fault. You are trying to do your best. You want to get the best result possible for that deadline. And now from the oracle cards, before we go to the July energies, we've got the context card. So this card also indicates that you are really focusing on but there's no whys in there. You don't even spend time on thinking about why you are doing a certain thing or why a certain thing happened. For example, in the process of preparing for that deadline, when suddenly in your circumstances something appears or something happens that maybe is blocking you or stopping you, you really get angry with this thing, but you don't even try to think why this thing happened. So if you had that context, then maybe you wouldn't even get that angry, but your mind seems to be rushing a lot, and you don't want to be bothered with anything else. That deadline is basically everything you can think of, everything you can see at the moment. And now for your energies for July, we have the Judgment card, which is why I'm saying that the deadline is in July, because I hope you can see on this card how this gentleman is lying down. So basically in July you will get to the point when basically the deadline is coming and then there's nothing for you to do. Then you can just wait for the results. You can just see how well you manage to prepare yourself, or prepare the event or the thing that this reading applies to. And the next card for July, we've got the Star reversed. So this is, well, it's not necessarily bad news. It really depends how you want to look at that. But basically, whatever result you have imagined, it's probably not going to happen exactly. But it doesn't mean you are not going to be successful. But I have a feeling that you may be a little bit overcritical towards yourself. Because when the judgment day comes, when the deadline comes, when you hear other people's opinions, or when you basically just look at what you have created, you are not going to be happy. But again, it doesn't have to be how other people see it. It's just you being very harsh for yourself, because you will have to think about it now, because maybe the goal you set for yourself, maybe it was a little bit too much. Are you sure that that was even impossible to achieve? And again, this is where the context card is coming in, because the thing you may have imagined how you want this event to look like, how you want this thing to look in its final shape and form. Are you sure that that was really possible given the circumstances, given the resources you had? Like, I think you need to be a little bit more realistic, because with the star reversed, I have a feeling that you might get quite upset about it, about the result. But again, at the same time, I think there's no good reason for you to be upset about it, because all this work, maybe even because in the past, in the recent past, you may have hurt some people because of you being so busy, not having time for them, or being a little bit like not really watching your words, yeah. And then you might get even angry with yourself in July after you received the results, let's say, because all this effort and all this nervousness, that you may have a feeling that it just that was in vain, but it's not. That's the thing, and it all depends on your perspective. Again, you just have to be realistic about the results, and you cannot over criticize yourself. You cannot be too harsh with yourself. What happened happened. You cannot turn back the time. You cannot go back and change the way you behaved. You cannot change the way you approach things, how you were working on that particular project. So this is something for you to bear in mind for July. And then we have the Ten of Wands card. So it looks like the whole project, the thing that was that you associate with that deadline, it also gives you some kind of a burden, and it's gonna last for a while. So again, I can give you an example in my mom. It might be that it's my mom's energy coming through in this reading. Because, for example, she will have to take a loan to pay for the wedding for my sister, yeah. So once the wedding has happened, my mom is gonna have to be paying off the loan for a few years. So this, it's just to give you an example of the energies that are coming for you in July. Of course, if you resonate with this reading, but you haven't got much to worry about. Even though you might be quite upset in July, because everything's gonna change, because the three cards at the bottom represent the energies further after the July, yeah. So how the situation may develop further in the future. So we have the Page of Wands, we've got the Sun card, and we have the Temperance reversed. So even though you will be feeling this burden, whatever that represents for you in your particular situation, it's going to be really heavy for you, but there's going to be someone who's either going to give you an idea of how to cope with this burden, or this person is basically going to help you carry these wands. So it's it's not really a messenger, it's basically a person who will bring the energy of help to deal with those wands, with too much stuff still on your head or on your back after that deadline. And this person is going to be a blessing for you, because we've got the Sun card. So you will see, because basically carrying these wands, it's gonna make you feel like you will have like no energy, no motivation. You're just gonna be, first of all, you're gonna be disappointed after that result, yeah, and then the burden you have to carry. So you may be feeling low, but once this person appears, it might even be your guides, it might be angels, so it might come in a form of an epiphany of how you could deal with that weight, with those wands. So this is going to you are going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, even though that will be more represented by the Hermit card. But basically you will approach that light really quickly, because once you see it, you will almost start running towards it, because you will really want to if not completely remove that burden, to at least relieve yourself, at least for a while. But this is going to be a beautiful energy, and it's really going to help you carry that baggage, yeah. But then with the Temperance reversed card, probably the solution this person is going to bring to you, it's not exactly going to be what you would want it to be. And it's a little bit of a repetition of that star, reverse star card, yeah, because again, it's not going to be exactly what you would hope for. So you may either need to move some stuff around, or maybe you will have to start doing things differently to remove at least a few of these ones, yeah. So it's not exactly, because you need to remember that if you are in a difficult situation and somebody is giving you a helping hand, it doesn't mean that things are going to change within a minute into the better, but like the better, like 100% good, yeah. It might take time, it might take some more effort, it might take you changing your routine, or because, just to give you an example, let's say you may be struggling financially after that deadline, and suddenly either somebody from your family or one of your old friends gives you a call and is asking if you could rent them a room, yeah. Because let's say they struggle to pay their rent, so they need to downsize, yeah. And it is actually something that could help you if these ones would be representing a financial burden. So it would help you, it would relieve your financial troubles, but then you would have a person at home, another person, yeah. Maybe you prefer more privacy, maybe you prefer being on your own, or maybe you just don't like more people in the house. I hope you know what I mean. So basically, whatever this person is going to be bringing you, it is going to be really helpful. However, you will have to compromise in some way to make it happen. Okay, and then from the deck called The Answer is Simple, we've got the card Speak with Love, and this is the card for you for July as well. So again, this card is really strongly related to the context card. You cannot speak with love if you only focus on what's. You can speak with love, however, when you do think about why something is happening. So you may be regretting how you were treating people before July, yeah? So it might be either in July or maybe a little bit further once you've calmed down after the deadline. It may be the time for you to actually apologize to them and have a chat, have a conversation, have a coffee, speak to them, try to listen to how they saw the whole situation. And because obviously you were too busy to see all the details, so give them time to explain to you why they offered you help, or why they advised you in a certain way and you refused to take that advice. But the thing is, because everybody around you was fully aware that you are really busy and really stressed out, so they will be able to understand that. But again, don't be afraid to approach them and to speak to them, and again, speak with love. So that means that whenever you have a conversation with someone, you have to remember that it's not only the words they hear, they also notice your body language, and they can also subconsciously feel your energy. So if you approach them with fear, or if you approach them when you are upset, they will kind of pick up on your energy. And when you say something to them, again, it's the vibration of your voice as well that's important. So make sure that whenever you try to approach the people that you may have harmed a little bit before that deadline, just make sure you are at peace within yourself. And then you will be able to speak with love to them. And I promise you, all of them, well, at least most of them, won't even have to forgive you because they've forgiven you already. So basically, you are going to get to the time when you will be able to sit down with them in peace and just have a normal chat, and probably you will be even laughing about what was happening before July, about all those stressful situations and things. We usually do that after a while when the time passes by, and we look back, and the things that at that particular time were quite stressful and really annoying for us are making us laugh at the moment, yeah. And we are just thinking how silly we were that we reacted in a certain way to a very little and almost insignificant thing. Okay, this would be it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Have a great month, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.